here I am on Avonmore Road in Tala, which is a very busy road. You'll see a lot of traffic as I walk around, but today is very special. In the background there are a group of students from UCD. Today they're going to prepare one of the largest areas for a stepping stone forest right here on Avonmore Road. An unusual location for us, so let's have a look at them preparing the ground and we'll see how the whole thing comes along. It's going to take 3 days to get the whole area prepared, so let's see how hard these guys can work. As I said, folks, there's a lot of traffic on this road, so as you can see, the students are working away, but behind them there are cars and buses, so we won't worry about it too much. I don't think it's going to bother them too much either. So as you can see, the girls there are removing the plastic from the cardboard. The very first operation at every one of these stepping stone forests. As I said, folks, Avonmore Road is a very, very busy road. And literally these people passing by have no idea what's going on their left-hand side. I'm sure somebody's going to stop at some stage and ask us. But so far, nothing. But I have a couple of people I want to talk to. So let's have a go at that first, okay? I'm going to introduce you to somebody you've met before. On my left here, Stephen. You've met Stephen on a couple of these projects, but he's with somebody else and I haven't met Ewan before. So Stephen, introduce yourself and then introduce Ewan to us.
So my name is Stephen Brady. I'm an executive parks and landscape officer at South Dublin County Council. This is my colleague Ewan. Ewan is also an exec park and landscape officer. Two of us are working in operations. Ewan mainly covers north of the N7, whereas I would be south of the N7, looking after Tala and Rathfarnham. Ewan primarily covers Lucan, Ankland, Dalkin. So this particular site is identified along the Dodder, so we're strengthening the corridor that's already here, the ecological corridor that's already here, and by planting I suppose a long sliver of native species, we're diversifying the flora and fauna that are here, and strengthening the connectivity of the corridor that's already in place.
From a climate change perspective, we know about, I suppose it's CO2 is what we're dealing with, and we know that trees take in CO2 and give out oxygen. They store the CO2 in the timber, and that CO2 is actually, carbon. They store carbon in the timber, and that carbon is also stored in the soil. So what we're doing here is fantastic in terms of sequestering carbon from the atmosphere in the fight against climate change. And hopefully that fight against climate change, it has some, I suppose, very important measures for the ecology and survival of the planet, but it also might stop these terrible storms that are coming along and absolutely washing us out of it, making our grass wet so we can't cut it, so pitches are unplayable, and I suppose they affect everyone's quality of life.
And there's the truck just driving away, having dropped off another load of cardboard to keep them all going for tomorrow and Saturday. There was a shortage this morning when John arrived, so I think they probably have enough at this stage. Okay, so back to you again, Stephen. Tell me how the association with UCD came along.
Like that you got that one, you were more so in talk.
Always passing the book, folks. It's back to you.
That's fair. Actually, myself and Stephen went along to the student exhibition in UCD. I think particularly because I suppose what I'll call a dear professor, Michael Hurich, an inspiration to me, and I would say probably
everybody in
everybody.
Landscape architecture, yeah.
Fantastic lecturer and professor in landscape architecture, taught me the very best of what I know. So he was retiring. So myself and Stephen and Hannah, another UCD graduate in the office, went along to the student exhibition, which was also doubling up as his retirement. And we got talking to Philip from UCD and to, I suppose, various different people, and this arose out of those conversations.
So I assume at this stage they're familiar with the Miyawaki method, yeah?
I actually can't answer that. I don't know how familiar they would be.
Maybe I'll see if I can corner Philip. As I said to the boys, I'd try and grab Philip, so I've cornered him over here. But I had one question for them that they couldn't answer, Philip, and hopefully you will. How much do the students know about the Miyawaki method?
Zero. They have been introduced to the method today, but I think as Confucius said, I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, and I do, I understand. I think it's so important that the students partake and see and physically understand the ongoings of what's happening, and then when we discuss Miyawaki and the different styles of planting and why we're doing it, South Dublin County Council's progress and where they're going with it, it lands much harder and it has a much more significant impact than just giving a lecture on it with slides. So they know nothing about it at the moment, and that'll be changing as we speak about it more in the classroom after this.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. I'm sure they'll come back on a regular basis to see the progress.
Yeah, I'd hope so, and I wouldn't see why not. They call it the IKEA effect, when you believe that something you've had your hand on is more significant than another product. So that's why they call it the IKEA effect, because anybody who has IKEA in their home, they have this kind of belief. They say, isn't that a great table? I put that together myself. There's a kind of a proudness to it. And it's the same if you make jam. You say, taste that jam, I made that myself. So that's what we're hoping the students get from today as they pass through in 15, 20, 25 years. They'll say, my hands, it was these lava that actually installed that.
Well, we've certainly seen that proven over the last 40 forests or so. So listen, Philip, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm back on Avonmore Road for day 2 of the soil preparation for a stepping stone forest, or rather in this case, a mini woodland as the council like to call them. And there's a lot of activity on the opposite side of the road here. Let's go and see what it's all about.
So we're creating a mini woodland here. The method that's been used is the Miyawaki method. So that is, well, one, the soil has to be very good quality. So that's part of what we're doing here today. So we're taking the cardboard, we're stripping off, as you've already been doing very diligently, plastics and things that won't biodegrade down. The cardboard is placed on the grass, which inhibits the growth of the grass. Then a layer of mulch is placed on top of it, and the mulch degrades down, the cardboard degrades down with all the lovely wet weather we get. So it will create heat in the soil. That'll increase microbial activity, worm activity. Worms, they're about the best thing that happens to soil. So look here already, I think the soil's probably in pretty good nick. This will really increase the the minerals and the all the good stuff in there. So that is our objective today.
Now, as you can see, folks, as usual, the first thing that happens is stripping all of the tape off of the cardboard. We don't want to put plastic back into the ground. All the volunteers today are from Guidewire, and I just got to find the man in charge, who I believe is Elton. I have Elton with me. Elton is from a company called Guidewire, who have provided all the volunteers for us this morning. So he's going to tell us how Guidewire became involved in this whole process.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Guidewire has been involved with Stepping Stone Forest since last year. So this is our third event with them. So we did a soil prep in Dudley Valley Park, and then we also did a tree planting there this winter. So now we're here doing the work again, and it's a great partnership, and we really enjoy working with Stepping Stone Forest.
Now, folks, I've got a gentleman with me here who's doing a very special project today, and he's monitoring people's hearts. So he's going to introduce himself to us, tell us who he is and what he's doing.
Hi, I'm Jack Deschamps. I'm here today with the South Dublin County Council, and we're working on the Mini Woodlands project. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to find out intensity through heart rate, and also using RPE to gauge kind of the activity that's being used or being done by each individual and by the group whilst we're doing this part of the Mini Woodlands project. So initially, or at the beginning, we're doing the mulch spreading and cardboard being put down, and so it's a relatively low intensity kind of activity. So again, heart rate monitors are strapped onto each individual at the beginning of the process. We've also got some GPS tracking at the same time. So it's again going to paint the picture for us of what's going on, where they're moving throughout the process, how each kind of exercise. So if we're looking around, we can see that they're digging, and they're using the shovels to scoop into buckets and into wheelbarrows, and then lifting the wheelbarrows, so using muscles and getting their heart rates up whilst using the muscles, and getting oxygen around the body to then spread the mulch. And so the results. So heart rate's being taken so that we can look at the relative intensity to each movement that they're doing throughout the day. We'll also be doing another bout of it in February, more intensive type exercise. Again, we're going to get an average of group so we can see whether they're high, low, and how that kind of relates to what we want week to week or day to day for each individual or each age bracket, from the likes of the HSE or the NHS and their guidelines for an active and healthy lifestyle.
And before I let you go, Jack, I'll let you back into your comfort zone in a moment. What are the results used for?
The results are going to be used for writing a report, so that everyone can see, by everyone I mean community, population, how getting involved with such projects can actually help and benefit your own health physically and mentally, getting out into a group and having that social interaction whilst getting your heart rate up, getting the body strong.
Okay, boys and girls, now I have a young man in front of me today, one of our newer councillors in fact, and he's actually the son of our current mayor.
Yeah, so hello everyone, my name is Brisho Parapadan. I'm a local councillor here in Tala Central. I am also a doctor working in Tala Hospital, so I suppose I'm juggling a lot of things at the same time, but I enjoy it a lot, which is one of the reasons I'm here today for, I suppose, for our new mini woodland here by the Dodder Valley. This is really a great occasion just to take part. We have a lot of volunteers here today and it's just amazing. We're trying to get as much work done as possible yesterday and today as well, so it's going great so far.
This morning, I'm down on Avonmore Road in Tala. Right across the road from me, there's a big group of volunteers getting ready to extend a site that was finished quite a few weeks ago. Well, not finished. It's being extended. So when they finish extending it, then it'll be finished. So they're literally just across the road from me. So I'm going to go over, have a look, make sure I don't get knocked down on the way across the road. Keep your fingers crossed. Now this can be quite a busy road, but I'm lucky there's a big gap in the traffic here, so I'm just crossing it to see the volunteers working away. Now just pulling in here to park at the side of the road across from where this morning's work is all going on. It's Fiona, and this is the van belonging to South Dublin Community Volunteers. We've met Fiona before, so she's going to say a few words to me. Do you want to move in front of the van in case you get knocked down, Fiona? Good morning, darling, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks, yeah.
Right, all I want you to do this morning is basically what you did before. Give us an explanation of the volunteers, where they come from, why they're here and what they're doing this morning.
Great, I'm Fiona and I manage a programme called the Community Volunteers, a fantastic bunch of people who give their time to help the local community, but specifically we help with events and emergency services when required. We love being out at the various stepping stones events. With volunteers from all over South Dublin, but also a good proportion of our volunteers are new to the country and they're very eager to give time to their local community, to give back, but also to get to meet people, to get out and about, to meet people in the local community, and to be out and about in nature. It's great when we're at the stepping stones events. Lots of mud, lots of fun. And that's basically what the community volunteers do. Out in the local community whenever the community need extra support for one-off events, that kind of thing.
Wonderful stuff, but before I let you go, Fiona, we're going to talk about this morning's event.
Yeah.
This site was actually prepared several weeks ago. This morning, what's happening with it? It's being extended.
It is indeed, and it's great to have such a lovely spot, and they're just adding to the preparation that was done on the first time we were here a number of weeks ago, so that in the spring we have an even bigger site that we can plant thousands of trees with Dodder Action and stepping stones. So we're looking forward to being back again in the spring to help do that too.
Thanks for watching Wildlife Wednesday, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. For now, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.